Hey guys, welcome back and happy Monday. All right, guys. So, as I said in the previous pre records, we are not doing hot, messy topics today because we still have family in town. However, there's still a lot of drama that's, well, needed to be talked about, I guess. Andy Cohen is sharing his biggest confrontation with a Real Housewives star. Plus, he's talking about the casting of RHONY Legacy. And Ramona, she's done. So that's a lot to talk about in itself. With that, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And don't forget, a new episode of Hot Messy Podcast drops tomorrow. Now, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so it's no secret that Andy Cohen is friends with some of the Real Housewives. He obviously has his favorites, Teresa Giudice, Lisa Vanderpump, Kyle Richards. Like, we can see right through it, right? And you're always going to have your favorites. There's always going to be some that you don't necessarily like and some that you do. I didn't think he liked Noella Bergner at all. I really feel like he doesn't like Jennifer Aiden. And that's just, honestly, that. But with that, he's still considered to be the father of Bravo. And while he doesn't have as much of a hand in casting or firing anymore, he does have the power and the influence to get rid of whoever he does not want on the show. As an executive producer and the host of Watch What Happens Live, Andy has said, before that he does have a say in many decisions at the network. And it's been reported that he triggered the end of a few castmates' contracts. After an awkward panel at BravoCon, Andy shared the biggest confrontation that he's experienced from a housewife. The topic was triggered by his recent encounter with Dorinda Medley, who got a mic at the conference and publicly asked him when he would remove her from Pause. Dorinda, of course, was referring to her firing from the Real Housewives of New York when Andy suggested that it was temporary. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight via Heavy, Andy said of Dorinda's confrontation, "Not since Jill Zarin confronted me on air about why she was fired have I been confronted like that by a housewife." He admitted, "I loved it." So listen, it's an intriguing situation because, yes, we were waiting to lock the new cast of the new RHONY before we really got into who's going to be on the spinoff called Legacy. Monday, we're going to start getting into that now. We're slowly pressing play on Monday. We're taking out the pen and paper on Monday. Jill herself was removed from RHONY back in 2011 after sending a resignation email and later taking it back. "When they fired me, I felt like it was a death. I wanted the chance to say goodbye to the fans because I didn't know if I'd ever be on television again. I never had that chance until now." That's what she said in the 2012 interview with 2Fab. Interesting. In the confrontation that Andy referenced, Jill was asked how it felt to know Luann de Lesseps, Sonia Morgan, and Ramona Singer were asked to come back when she herself was not. "I'm glad you asked that question," Jill told Andy on Watch What Happens Live, "because I've been wanting you to ask since then. Why was I fired?" Andy claimed the answer was already discussed with Jill, but he shared that producers wished to shake up the show. In response, Jill shared her feelings that Andy picked favorites amid her Bethany Frankel feud. And a lot of people, again, getting back to it, Andy loves Bethany Frankel. A lot of people felt like that. And to think that Andy would not have his favorites, I think that's silly. Of course he has his favorites. That's obvious. We know that Andy has favorites. You see it on Watch What Happens Live. You see it the way that he navigates certain situations when he's talking with the women. You see it when he's doing the reunions and when he's doing the sit downs and the panels. We can read through all of it. Now, as for Ramona Singer, I always thought that she was one of Andy's favorites. And I think that this situation is a little out of his control. But Ramona Singer is confirming that she will not be on RHONY any longer. If you guys take it back, when she was on her last season with Ebony K. Williams, there was an investigation launched into her because she allegedly said something like to the effect of, "This is why we shouldn't have Black people on the show," which if she said, and I've said this since day one, since we heard about this, if she did in fact say that, yes, you should be fired from the show. That's a no-brainer. She should not be asked back if that is something that came out of her mouth. Singer sung her swan song. Thanks to Page Six for mentioning it all. Ramona Singer told Page Six exclusively that after 13 seasons of the show, she's not returning to the Real Housewives of New York City. "I don't want to do the show any longer." That's what she said in an interview on Friday. "It's not for me at this time." But sources told us that Bravo didn't offer the longest serving cast member an opportunity for their revamped lineup. Earlier this year, the network announced that it planned to overhaul the series by starting over with a RHONY cast and introducing a legacy edition of the show, which would feature fan favorites from earlier seasons. On Thursday, Page Six reported that execs were hoping to keep Luann de Lesseps and Sonia Morgan from the last season of RHONY for the new show and add alums Kelly Ben-Simone, Jill Zarin, sorry, Jill. You're still relevant, Jill. Jill Zarin and Dorinda Medley, plus a couple of to-be-decided vets. Insiders told us that the network had been open to inviting Singer to be on the new show until recently, but went off of that idea, in part because Singer, perhaps sensing the writing could be on the wall, had begun trashing the Legacy series. I've been there for a long time. I mean, never say no, never say never, and that's what she said on Reality with the King podcast. But I also feel like the Legacy show, how could it be really good? The people they were going to bring back are the people they didn't want to renew anyways. Yeah, this is where she sort of put her foot in her mouth. She said, so now what? Are you going to call it The Loser Show? The Loser Legacy? Ugh. A network insider told us that the remarks weren't the whole ballgame, but it didn't help her chances of getting a contract. I don't think that was the defining moment, is what the source said, but she does seem to put her foot in her mouth a lot. It's something that's the end of an era, and Ramona Singer is the only member of the cast who had been with the show since it launched in 2008, and the second of the Real Housewives, and has weathered endless on-screen battles and cast shakeups. However, it's the end of an era. I think she put her foot in her mouth. I do think that she would want to come back because she's doing real estate now. Is she wealthy? Does she have a lot of money? Yes. Does she need the show? Probably not. However, she was getting paid 7 figures, over $1 million to come on and just be Ramona and just argue with women or walk away or be like, I don't want to talk to you. No, sorry, I can't talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. No. Like, just to be kind of quirky and kooky, she was getting paid millions of dollars for that. Who walks away from that kind of paycheck and just to go sell real estate? And the problem is when you have somebody like a housewife who's selling real estate, who knows when they get calls from people who might be looking at a property or want to buy or set up a showing if they're not just fans. Because some people, now that they have access to Ramona, they can just call her. They can email her. They can say, oh my God, I want to see 1827 South Park Drive, and I would love to set up a showing at 1 o'clock. And then they just like nudge their husband and be like, oh my God, we're going to go meet Ramona. So it's kind of confusing. But I listen, I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are, especially when Andy Cohen's talking about one of his biggest housewife confrontations and Ramona now officially letting us know she's not returning. What are your thoughts? Where do we go from here? And in the meantime, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Love you.